thank you so much for coming and attending the meeting. Like I said, we're recording this, so I'll pop it on YouTube and you can refer to it later. If you have questions, go ahead and post them in the little icon that looks like a bubble. And we're going to go ahead and start with what I think makes the most sense to start with is downloading membership lists. So the way that you are going to download membership lists is you will be able to see when you go under your chapter. We're on USA. I have access to everything. So I've used Susan as an example to give you a better perspective of what you see. That black bar at the top, please just ignore it. That's a super admin spot that you don't see. Anyway, so we're going to go and we will click on Cincinnati. And then we're going to get Cincinnati's information. And you will be able to see, she doesn't have access. We'll have to do it through USA. Sorry. Sorry, she has less access than I do. So we're going to click on USA and I'll show you an example of how you're going to download your membership list. Slow loading time, I apologize. We have access to a lot of stuff, so it takes a little bit. Okay, so you're going to go to USA and you can see here, this is, you are in the USA area. Super sensitive mouse, I'm sorry. Wow. USA, what you'll see is your chapter. So you'll go to your chapter, you'll click on your chapter, and you'll know you're there because that's the tab that will show there. And then you're going to go to group. I apologize for the delay. People. And you can see all of your active members. And where we can tell about permissions. So you can see that Kathleen Singer is active and how long and what her role is. If I wanted to give her, if I wanted to approve her membership, if she paid by check and I wanted to approve her membership, I would click this button up here and I can approve her as a member. Now, if you go to people, and export list, this is where you get all of your membership information. It pops up, it tells you the user's name, their first name, their last name, and all of their address and their current information that they've inputted into the system. You'll be able to tell when, how they paid, so that is how you download your membership, all of your chapter. Now you won't see all of the people that I am showing you now because that's all of CISV. You'll only be able to see your chapter. And any questions that arise, please feel free to pop them into that bubble and I'll take a look at it. I can see people are still joining. Welcome everyone. Everyone's on mute for sound reasons. If you have a question while you're going through this, you can hit the chat bubble here and I will answer any questions as they arise. Also, for the people that are just arriving, we are recording this, so you can refer back to it. And I'll post it on YouTube and send everybody the link. So that's how you download the membership. I want to show you how to do permissions as well. As chapter admins, as you know, people will be able to, I see your question, Victor, I'll get to it just a quick second. As chapter admins, you will be able to go in and give people permissions if they pay offline via check. The online checks, if they or the online payments, if they pay via credit card, I will give your chapter a credit at the end of the next your next chapter statement. So Victor asked me, if our members pay online, do we send out our usual notifications and tell them instead of paying by check, they should do it online? It's up to you how you want to let people know how to pay. Online or offline, it's up to you. Like I said, the process will be they will enter in if they do it on credit card, I'll give your chapter a credit on your next statement. I will also show you who paid and how they paid when I send out the chapter statement. So you'll have a complete outline of the membership. It's permissions that I have to keep the security of everybody, of everything. So that's this button up here that you all don't have, which is the store. I'm not going to get into any of that because there's just a little more detail than you need. I will send you a complete spreadsheet, and you can always check back and reference your membership database by what I just showed you as well. And then Victor also asked if I upload all our members, who should we coordinate with to do so? That's going to be if you want to manually input your members, and let me know if I'm if I'm answering the wrong question here, Victor. If you want to manually update your members, you can. However, they will need to verify. The only step that they will need to do is they'll get an email verification stating that they're verifying that their email is accurate. So that is the one step that they will have to complete to be logged into the system. Not sure if that answers your question or not, Victor. Okay, great. Let me show you how to give permissions. I apologize. I might just log into my account since this is slow anyway. I logged into Susan's because mine is a little bit slower. I have so many permissions. I want to see if I can. I don't think she has. I'm looking to see if she has permissions so I can show you this. If I'll come to mine, and she does not have admin permissions for Cincinnati. I am going to show you my account. Bear with me. In the meantime, everyone can throw out questions that they have, burning questions that they have right now. So, and some of the things we're going to go over today, I'll just go ahead and let you know. We're going to go over the downloading the membership list, what we just did. I'm going to show you how to give permissions to people who pay offline. I'm going to show you create forms, load documents within your chapter, and how to use forums and how to create events. Hopefully we have enough time, and if not, I'm happy to do another call. And I am also going to do tutorials that I will post online that you can share with your chapters. Um, tutorials just like this. It'll be the same sort of venue, and I'll post them on YouTube. But I'm going to do tutorials on how to log in, how to sign up, how to do family memberships, and all the stuff that we put in that document. I'm gonna do online, like you're seeing right now, so that they can have a visual to accompany the written directions. So we have a couple other questions while it's loading. I'll go ahead and answer those. Tracy asks, if people pay by check but have not logged into CISV Central, how do we get their info into the membership list? You could do it manually and I can show you that right now. Let's do it right now. We'll show you. So we're going to go to Atlanta chapter. Another question, at the beginning of each year, do we have to give each member's permission again since the New Year's membership is due? Yes. This runs on a calendar year. So CISV Central will send notifications that their membership is due on the calendar year, and so they will be asking again for renewal of memberships. We did this to help chapters try and track membership in the most easy way. So yeah, you will, at the beginning of the year, if someone has already paid for the next year at a different time frame, you as chapter admins will need to go in and manually update them. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So we're in the Atlanta chapter. You can see we're one level above. So now we're not in USA, we're in Atlanta. So you always follow these tabs here. And we're going to go to Group, People, and you can see here that this person here is pending. Well, if they've paid by check, I can click this box and approve their membership by hitting update. I'm not going to do that because I don't. Anyway, so you can click here and approve it, and they will be active. So that's how you update people who pay offline. Yeah, if they pending status means that they are not active. That means that they did not pay. They didn't go to a chapter and select their so they've gotten past the USA part, but they haven't gone in and selected their chapter and made a payment. Or they've put pay by check, and until someone goes in and manually puts them as approved when they pay by check. Yes, yeah, correct. So Atlanta, so what it means is Atlanta, that is correct. They selected Atlanta, and they've selected a payment method of pay by check. So you need to go in and approve them once you get that check. And the other question was, do we deactivate them? Yes. If they don't pay their membership fees in January, what will happen is they will be booted out and they will see just that main screen, which you see before you log in, and they won't have access to anything. Another question that came in is, can administrator register someone that's already paid but not access CISV Central Directory. Yes, you can. There's an Add People button. So once you, again, I'll go back and show you again just to make sure you know how to hack everything. So you go to Group, and you're going to go to Add People, and you can make their username, and all the usernames should be their first name dot last name, and then you can mark them as active, and their membership type is going to default, and then you can add that user. Now, they will still need to get on CISV Central at some point by verifying their email. But you can add them to the list. All right. Does anyone have any additional questions about downloading memberships or giving permissions before we move on? So the question was, so once you do this, they get an email from the system asking them to confirm. Yes, that's correct. Everyone needs to verify emails, and it's a filter that's embedded into the system. Okay, not seeing any additional questions at this time. I'm going to go ahead and show you how you set up chapter hubs or committees. And so each chapter has the ability to set up committees within that hub. So we're on CISV USA, and I need a committee. You can see here it says create hubs. So these are the things you can create. You can create upcoming events. You can create photo galleries, discussion forums, documents, forms, announcements. These right here are each individual chapter. So each individual chapter can create their own events, galleries, discussion forums. So we're going to go ahead and create a new hub that's going to be a committee. So we're going to go to committees. I apologize, hold on. Oh, we're in Atlanta. I apologize. Make sure you're on the right hub. You need to go to the USA hub because I'm going to create a committee. So there's a little bit of downtime with the loading of the website. Go ahead and shoot out any random questions you may have on the website. I'll continue to answer them even if they're not pertinent to the actual item we're on right now. So you see here that I clicked on Create Hubs, and now I want to create a committee. Yours won't have chapter. Each chapter will have committee, event, and training in theirs. You click on committee, In this area, you'll be able to create your village committee, your whatever committees that you have within chapter. So we're going to create a risk management committee, and you make sure that you're at the correct location. I'm going to create it for all of CISV USA and click Save. And that's how you create a committee within your chapter. So the next time that you go to committee and view all, you will be able to see the risk management tab. And within that committee, you are able to upload documents, upload forms, and have a forum and create events. So the whole system replicates itself within each individual item. Another question on the previous topic, when you add a user and they can't email address, how does the system know what email address to use to confirm? I need to look. We can try and replicate that. Let me get back to you on one. We'll try and replicate it and see what we can do. Okay, so now if we go to committee, we scroll down to view all. You're able to see all of the ones that I have joined. So you can see the risk management one there, committee there now. And I have not joined the local leadership trainers, which is one of the only, and then I created the risk management. So what you would do is you would have people join the local leadership committee, and if they're approved, they will automatically, the local leadership trainer who created that committee will get a notification asking for approval. So that will be you. As chapter admins, if you created the chapter development committee, you will get a notification, and then you click approve, and they will be approved for that committee. That ensures that everybody who is in the appropriate committee is saying appropriate things. So it's private. All right, we have a question. Can a committee act as an email alias? Can I send a message out to everyone in a particular committee? You can send a message via forums to the committees, which I can show you here. Well, for example, you can send, if you are the chapter admin, you can send an overall message to all of Atlanta. It's called announcements. And so when you create an announcement, all of Atlanta will get that announcement. Now, as far as committees, you do it via forum, and they will get the forum notice. It's very similar to Basecamp, where you would get a notification stating that someone has posted a forum comment. So here is the announcements. These are some of the ones that I've announced to everybody, which sends an email out to all of CISV USA. Now, yours will go out to all of your chapter, like, for example, all of Atlanta. We have another question. So the person who created committees is the administrator. Who approves the people? The administrator is who approves people for that committee, it will be the administrator. So if you created it, and can you send invites to members to join the hub? No, that's not something we can do at this point, is send out invites. You can email any member you want at any time. For example, a personal email though, just like one-on-one, or you can send out an announcement overall to all of Atlanta saying, hey, join this hub. Or you could go into individual accounts and send them an email. I can show you how to send that email real quick. Okay. So when you go to your group, that's how you send out emails. Go to people. And click on the person. It brings up their profile. You'll be able to see their title, their name, their gender, which chapter member they are a member of, and then there's a little tab in the corner to send an email to them. Does anyone have any questions about creating committees or hubs? Not seeing any questions, I'll go ahead and move on to the next topic. And I will show you how to upload documents. So each committee, each hub, each chapter has the ability to upload documents to that site, and you'll click on Create Documents. And here's where all of the documents for CISV USA are located. And then you're going to click on Document. And we'll choose a file. Name it. Give it an author. And we're going to look at the visibility. And you always want to make it private, accessible only to your group members. If you make it public, it will go on CISV USA's site, and we don't want that. So always make it private. And then save. And you've uploaded a document to your specific chapter or committee at that time. And there you'll be able to see the document was loaded and dated. When you go to documents the next time, that will be in there. We have a question. Are the forms that are needed by CISV programs in the chapter form area or somewhere else? So we have various forms that are needed. Ones that are overarching for CISV USA that we can put on there will be under CISV USA. I know that there are some forms and documents that are chapter specific, and that's where you would put those. I know, for example, under CISV USA, well, you could see here, Handbook of Procedures is one that's under CISV USA. Invitation lists. There's the Youth Delegate Reference Form. There's lots of different documents that are listed under CISV USA. So I would say you would direct people to CISV USA, and you as chapter admins can look at what's there. And if you have specific chapter related documents that you'd like to put, whether it's, chapter minutes, in this area, that would be an appropriate place to put it. For example, the YLIF. Well, the YLIF is actually an international form that can't be, that it is on CISV USA under documents. That is correct. Yes, the YLIF and the all of the legal and health forms are there to download on the USA site. So you don't need to worry about putting that for your chapter. It would be more chapter specific form documents that you would put there. We also have the ability to create forms. Forms are wonderful because there's many different positive attributes to these, which I'll show you. So documents would be things that you want to download, print off, save on your computer. Like the international forms, you have signatures that are required, physical signatures that are required. So those forms or those documents are under documents and not forms. We did forms for a lot of different areas where we felt like we could create them. So this is under CISV USA, and so we have the National Travel Reimbursement Form as a perfect example. So you can click on the National Travel Reimbursement Form as any individual. Don't have to be a chapter admin to see this. Everyone gets to see this. So National Travel Reimbursement Form. You're going to fill the form out online, and form is automatically emailed to our national treasurer and copied to me. And I'm looking at the time, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show you exactly how to create form right now. I will postpone that until another time, or if we have time, if we end up with extra time at the end of the call, I can try and show you how to do that. But this is an option. You can create forms and have them directly emailed. So it's great for delegates, and you can make these private to your own chapter as well. I can show you how to create events. So we want to create an upcoming event. And this could be any sort of fundraising events that you do within your chapter. We're going to create an event. And we're going to create a regional training forum. For the Midwest chapter, Midwest region. Wow. In the body, we can explain all the details of the event. Training event, replacing chapter development, workshop, region. We can select the time. It will be February 15th. Time. And select the time zone, and then we want to make this public for everyone. You will want to make yours private. This is a free event, so we don't need to add anything to it, but if it's a paid event, you can add different products. As you can see here, you add a product and it can be whatever price, whether you want to have t-shirts, you want to sell something at the event, it's individual pricing. You can add how many different pricings you want to it. The address of the location, you can do a logo, and then you hit publish and save. And that will become an event that will be specific to your chapter. Do we have any questions on events and creating events? All right, seeing no questions, I'll show you the forums. Oh, there is a question. How do you delete them once they're completed? That actually is a good question. They should roll off. There are some events I know that are on here that are past, but you can always reference them. So I think that they will probably stay on there for a bit of time. I'll get back to you on that exact question and write it down. Check with the developer, because that is one thing that I've noticed is that there's a lot of expired events that are still on there. But however, you can't actually click on them. They're just there. You can't click to register on them late. A great question. All right. So show you forums, discussion forums. So this is kind of like similar to any other like base camp or anything where you want to have a conversation within that specific chapter or group. You can make announcements. Well, you can have different discussion topics. So you can see here on CISV USA, Nancy is looking for a 15-year-old step up. Click on that and we can see what Nancy is looking for. And you can see that there's people that have responded here. And like Facebook, you can like posts and like pictures as well, photos. So Nancy is looking for a 15-year-old girl to do a step up this summer. And then you can see that Denise has responded here. You can have discussions on the national level or within your chapter about specific topics. All right, we do have about 10 minutes left. I am going to try and show you a brief overview of how to create forms. Feel free to jump in with any questions. I will have to jump off at 9 o'clock to join board of directors call. So we'll go to create forms. And I'm creating forms is a little more of the complicated process, and I could probably go into a little more detail, and we'll do a separate intensive tutorial on forms if you all think it's needed. So you're going to go to create web form. And I'm going to title this post-chapter application. And in the body of this, you can put any chapter hosting a program in the next year must complete by April 1st. And we're going to save it. So there's two parts. You're creating a web form, and then so that's the outline of it, and then you go into this part where you form the components. So you can ask questions in different formats. We have text field, select options, which would be like multiple choice questions. You can add files and a date. Text area gives you more space than a text field, gives you more character space if you want them to have longer answers. So we'll go ahead and say, what program are you hosting? And we're going to make it a text field. And we're going to you can make the questions mandatory or optional. And then you add it. And then it pops up this. And you just ensure all of your information is correct. And this is the area that I was referring to where you can input an email. So if you want this form, if you create this form and you want our national treasurer to receive this form or someone within your chapter directly. So once someone goes online, completes the form, and hits submit, an email automatically goes to that person. What you do is you go to emails here in this corner, and you type in the email address and hit add, and then that form will automatically be sent to whoever you have inputted into that email address. And you can always go in and change these. These are very editable. So that's a brief overview of forms. I think I could probably get a little more detailed as far as the varying ways to create the different line items, and can show you all that in a separate tutorial. Right, so questions? Now, I'm happy to take questions about anything at all about CISV Central at this point. Okay, let me look into, there's a question about adding members. Let me look into it. I think that I may be incorrect because you're right, there isn't a email address, and that's how the whole thing is verified. So you may not be able, everyone has to, I think that at this time it may be that we can't add active members. We can add a member that will go into your database. So you could add someone as as a participant that will end up in your database of people when you export them. But I don't think they'd become active members until they initiate the active membership and they actually go through the process of verifying their email address and registering. Let me know if that makes sense or if I've just confused. I have a question. I want to make an adult board committee to send messages. How do I add a member to this committee after it's created? That is actually what we can do, where I just went. If you go to people, add a group member to CISV USA, you can add in their username after they have already signed up, and it'll pop up here in this area, and then you can give them permissions to that group. Right. There's no names. It just says viewer 28. So whoever asked to add the chapter member, does that make sense? Okay, good. That is something that we can look into later. We are continuing to develop this tool. We want it to be friendly and what everybody wants and needs. So as you chapter admins go through and you find things helpful or things not helpful, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you have any issues as you navigate through, always feel free to reach out to me and Scott. And I promise that I will try and get to all of the different issues as they arise. All right, there's a question. Oh, viewer 28, talk to me offline because there's an issue with your database, and we'll try and figure out what it is offline. I'm thinking that, yeah, email is perfect. I'm thinking that you'll all have questions as you go through, and I'm happy to answer any of them. I hope this was helpful. I will definitely be posting lots more, and over the next couple of weeks, so it'll be something that's taken care of very soon. If there are specific things that you would like me to, and ideas that you would like more information on and would prefer a tutorial, please let me know. I can work with people individually and do this join me as well, individually. So thank you all for taking on the chapter admin role, and I look forward to working with you all, and questions are welcome. So thanks so much, and I hope everyone has a great evening.